Offside Sports rolls on from the Loft 100 Studios here in Southern California, brought to you by Turtlebox Audio. Find them at turtleboxaudio.com. This portion of the show presented by Bavemos Tequila, made for those who chase the sun. Find your bottle at WeDrinkTequila.com. What were you guys drinking on Super Bowl Sunday?
I'll be honest with you. I was drinking not beer, not any alcohol. I found a root beer. That was it. I haven't had a root beer in 10 years. From how I found it, it was in my refrigerator. I was like, who bought this? Literally, Mike, it was one of the first times I've watched the Super Bowl by myself. And the reason is I was so into the NFL season. I always am. Yeah. But I watched every game this year. And that sounds crazy to say. I watched every single game this year, and I wanted to hear the announcers. I wanted to take it in. I wanted to take in the halftime show. Yep. I knew we would talk about it here. I didn't want to miss anything. I've been to too many parties where I'm the guy stuck without a chair, sitting on the fireplace, doing this move, looking at the TV from the corner of my eye, going, I hate being here. And there's always somebody there in the room that says, man, I'm here only for the commercials. And I'm like, get out. You have a better seat than me. And then I have the person that wants to outdo the guy with the 11-layer dip, if that even exists. Like, how many layers we sticking in this dip? Is this Jell-O? What's in this? What's one of these layers?
I am I'm there with
done.
you.
So, Mike, mine was very boring when you talk about entertainment factor, but I took in the entire game with no interruptions.
I'm right there with you. I do not love Super Bowl parties for that reason. I feel like in general, I'm not shading women, but in general, the women all gather in the kitchen or getting the food and talking.
Where they belong.
Don't care about, do not care about the sports. I love sports. I love football. Yep. I want to watch the game, so I don't go to them anymore.
I'm with you. We went to a Super Bowl party, and you know, when one of the little sniveling brats comes up and says, "Will you play Uno with me?" I'm just like, get out of here. And I obviously I didn't kick the little girl, but I just said, no, I'm not going to play. I'm not playing Uno right now. But I'm the same way. I'm just like alone by myself, and I'll make dip or I'll whatever. Yeah. I'll have a root beer with Dave Pell in. To me, it sounds like heaven. Or if you're with a small group where everyone's comfortable.
No more than 6.
Yeah,
I think 6 is the number.
magic number.
If like my sons are there, that's great for me.
I'm with you.
And their girlfriends or whatever, that's great.
Yeah.
But it has to be a group that wants to really be invested in watching the game.
But Allison, are you that person, because I know you do a ton of research, are you that person in the room that has to give a bio on every person that touches the ball, even though people don't ask for their backstory?
Only if it's a really good emotional heartstring story. I might tell it. I know.
I just don't know if you're the one when you go to the bathroom and someone's like, gotta tell her.
No, I don't talk very much during games. Like I oftentimes even put on Do Not Disturb on my phone. Now I didn't for you. You were texting me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I try and keep it
good.
Pretty quiet.
Who do you guys off the top of your head think is the #1 team odds to get back? To go to Super Bowl 61 in Los Angeles.
To go and win it?
To go, favored. I guess it's favored to win it.
Well, to me, the craziest thing is if you're a Broncos fan, you had to be losing your mind watching that game going, we would have put on a better show if we had our quarterback.
Possibly.
But if you're a Rams fan, I keep thinking, all you need to do is catch one punt. If you would have caught the punt, you're in the Super Bowl and you're winning the Super Bowl.
Stafford said after the game, this Super Bowl was a layup.
It was a layup. He's absolutely right. Yeah. And time's running out in his career.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going to go right back to the Rams.
Allison, who do you think?
I think this is more who I hope, who I would love to see finally get there, and that would be Josh Allen and the Bills, and Jared Goff and the
Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that's who I'm hoping for.
Seahawks and Rams are both tied at plus 950. Are going to bet to get back to the go to the Super Bowl. Bills, then Eagles, Pats at 1,300, Ravens at 1,300. Then you got the Packers, Lions at 1,400, Chargers, Chiefs at plus 1,500. That's because Mahomes is going to be out for much of the season. And then you got the 49ers. He's
coming back now in September. Now that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, they have a lot of holes. I mean, here's the deal with the Patriots. You say, as far as getting back, they could. They have a ton of money to spend, right? The Cowboys now, they said they're going to tag George Pickens. So you have to get rid of one of those wide receivers.
Yep.
So imagine if CeeDee Lamb all of a sudden is available to go to the Patriots.
Sometimes, Dave, I think my own personal opinion is we're right now, knowing nothing, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Rams-Bills Super Bowl. Who do you say Rams and
I'm going to go completely crazy here. I'm going to go all LA. I'm going to go SoFi Stadium. Going Rams.
dude.
Going Chargers. And
the world
That would
wants
be
it.
wild.
The
that would
world
be the
wants
craziest
it.
can be.
The world wants it.
It'd
I
be
love
nuts,
it.
right?
Allison, who do you think? Just off the top of your head, just call your shot.
Well, Bills, Detroit. That's
Oh,
what I
Bills.
just said.
Oh,
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bills Detroit.
Yeah.
All right. When you look at what the Seattle has, there's really maybe a plug and play here and there.
Yeah.
Patriots, though, and as we have all heard NFL coaches talk about, Dan Marino thought I was going to get back a bunch of times, never made it back.
So
after.
hard to get back. That's
It's
the thing.
so friggin' hard to
So
get
hard.
back. And is part of it the fact that, we talked before the show here, we talk about a layup. Look at the layup the Patriots had this year and the teams they played and then who they played, quarterbacks they played against
Exactly
in the playoffs.
right. Yeah, I mean, you're facing guys like Quinn Ewers.
Right.
And Tua, and you know what I mean. You're going against guys like that, and Bo Nix is backup all of a sudden. It's you don't know how it's going to break down, but yeah, it is very hard. There's a lot of luck that goes into this. How many people before the season started picked the Detroit Lions to be in the Super Bowl?
A bunch.
And then the Lions,
Just disintegrate.
Well, and when you look at, you just can't predict the injuries.
Exactly.
It's tough. I think too, like we were saying, it's so hard to get back for any team. I don't know. I don't necessarily. The Patriots also have a much more difficult schedule than they did this year.
They will in
26.
for
Yeah,
sure.
it's definitely.
So that we talked about a spot in the Super Bowl, 30-second spot between $8 and $10 million. That's how much NBC and the league were getting. The NFL is so healthy right now as far as the financial growth, peak health of the league. Franchises are going to in 2026, or by the time the Super Bowl rolls around next year, are going to average $7.1 billion as far as their valuation's concerned. And this is a league that has, their CTE and what's happening with players' health, and we know what happened with players off the field and continuing to get in trouble and things like that. And Dave, I don't want to say they are Teflon, but they have weathered so many storms, and it just gets more and more popular.
More and more popular. I mean, it is absolutely incredible. It's the greatest thing going. It's like watching the movie Gladiator. You're sitting in the crowd and you're watching people down on the field, and bad things are going to happen, but guess what? I'm coming back again. And none of that affects me as a viewer. It doesn't matter to me. A couple of years ago, they tried to organize a boycott in Indianapolis where the vice president walked out. We're going to make a political statement. Politics aren't as big as the NFL.
Yeah.
The NFL right now is the biggest thing going and is growing worldwide. Just the halftime show was great for the NFL.
Yeah.
People were talking about it. And if they could figure out a way union-wise to put a team in London or Germany full-time.
9 international games in 26.
And the deal is you just don't want to have, let's say, Mike, you got drafted by Jacksonville and the Jags now play in London.
Right.
Your mom and dad aren't going to be able to come to the game. Your kids aren't going to, it becomes a hassle. So that's where the union's going to push back. But otherwise, as Allison, they can make it work. And the goal is to have one team play an international game every single year.
I think, we talk about that, how you're going to entice, because Roger Goodell wants a full slate of games in somewhere, Mexico, Europe. He wants that. He said, one of the things he talks about is that part of his legacy, he wants it to be officially the worldwide sport. The logistics of that happening are, I think, slim and none. And Slim just walked out the door.
You need a lot more bye weeks.
You need a lot more bye weeks, and I think you have to offer something to the players' union, the players' reps, something like universal health care for life from the point that you retire, or a much better way of taking care of them, or doing a much better job as far as pensions are concerned and things like that. Because as we know, you add more games, or you're going to add more risks to these players. Do you think we'll get to the point we've got 16 or 18 games across the ponds, as they say?
I think you will. I think you're right on the money with this thing. So if you look at the salary cap right now, there are 53 guys on a roster, or 48 dress on game day, but really only 6 guys per roster get paid.
Yeah.
I mean, paid like life-changing money. So only 6 out of 53. That's where the Players Association needs to figure it out and learn how to fight for themselves.
Allison, you think it's going to be sooner or later we see all those games not here in the
Yeah,
United
I mean,
States?
just look how much it's grown just in the past few years, and now we're at 9 games this year for 26. 9's a lot, and it's a lot to ask those players to travel all that way. You know, they're not out sightseeing. They literally go to their hotel, practice, and play, and get back on the plane and come back. And I don't know. I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot to ask for fans to give up a home game. It's a lot.
Yeah,
but it will grow.
That's the part that really stinks. If it's your team that's playing. All right, are you going to Super Bowl 61 in Los Angeles next year? Get ready to either sell your firstborn or take out a second mortgage to go. We'll explain why next as Offside Sports rolls on right after this.